How's it going, everybody? David Medina here. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and follow me at David Medina PDX across all social media. I see you guys sharing the videos out there, and I really appreciate it. It really helps what we're trying to do here grow. And I'm wearing a suit, not because I'm trying to impress the next guy we have coming up. I don't, trust me, I don't want to impress him, even though I consider him a friend. I just got off Carl Higbie on Newsmax, and it was actually pretty cool because I like Carl Higbie. He's one of my dad's favorite guys to watch. Yeah, Travis Nelson, representative out of Portland, is going to be joining us in just a few seconds here, talking about ICE, talking about the response, the lack of response by Oregon politicians, which is why Trump has to send in the National Guard. So there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation coming out, especially from this guy's party, Travis's party, the Democrat Party, who's in control of all branches of government here in Oregon, who constantly want to tell you that nothing's going on down in Portland and everything's just peachy and the city's in a state of renewal. That's not the real truth, though. And I think if you live in Portland, if you have common sense and you're not playing politics, you know that's not the truth. So without further ado, let's go into our interview here with Travis Nelson. All right, Representative Travis Nelson is here with us. He is a representative out of Portland. He is my favorite, not only favorite black person, but he is my favorite gay person in my life. I consider him a friend, believe it or not, even though his views are crazy and he participates in the lies of the Democrats here in Oregon. I still like him. See, we can still get along, right, Travis? How you doing, man?
Hey, David. It's good to be with you. I appreciate that intro, even though it wasn't exactly accurate.
Well, we're going to bring, I hope you come back to church with me. You came to church with me one time, man, and I hope you can come back again because we need you for the kingdom of God. I don't know if you know that or not, but maybe you can come to church with me more. I don't know.
I'd go back to church with you. You do need to get saved, though. I'm still pushing for that.
That's crazy. That's crazy to say. Travis, so let's talk about Portland, man. I mean, first of all, tell people your district again, what district you cover, and then kind of your bona fides. Tell me who are you? Tell people who you are.
Well, I am the state representative for House District 44, which covers most of North Portland and a part of Northeast Portland. I serve as vice chair of the Behavioral Health and Healthcare Committee in the House. I'm also on the Labor and Workplace Standards Committee and just consider myself a community advocate. I've also been a registered nurse for 20 years as well.
Have you done any community advocating for the neighbors that have had to deal with the 100+ straight days of the noise coming from the rioters in front of the ICE building, Travis?
Oh, come on, David. First of all, that's not my district. And that area is about a quarter of a block in southwest Portland. So
you know what I love about you? You let me give you crap and you let me tease you, but you tease me back. You said some crazy things to me off camera, but we put up with each other, man. I think it's good to get back to the civil dialogue. You know what I mean? Like your side kind of took out Charlie Kirk for that, and you're not part of that side. You're not part of that. You didn't agree with that. Okay. I don't think you agree with murder, even though you didn't like Charlie Kirk. You didn't agree with Charlie Kirk. We shouldn't be killing each other. We should be doing what we're doing right now. Do you at least agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know my background. I grew up in rural Eastern Washington, still have a lot of conservative friends, have conservative friends all over the country. And we need to have this type of dialogue between progressives and conservatives, Democrats and Republicans. And I'm happy to be back on your show, even though I often disagree with you and think you stretch the truth too, my friend.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. Well, talking about speaking of stretching the truth, why don't we talk about the governor of Oregon, Tina Kotek, and the mayor of Portland, Keith Wilson, who and Senator Ron Wyden, who say there's just nothing going on in Portland. Everything's peachy. ICE agents aren't getting attacked. The ICE building hasn't been under attack for the last over 100+ days. Kind of the same thing they did in 2020 with the BLM riots, Travis, how you guys kind of just swept everything under the rug. No one's taking responsibility for what that did to Portland. That's another story. But why can't you guys just tell the truth? Why can't you just say, look, we don't want the National Guard coming in. But at the same time, we acknowledge that there's some problems. You guys won't let Portland police do their jobs. What's going on in Portland? Why has it gotten down to Trump sending in the National Guard?
Well, first of all, David, I was just a citizen in 2020. I wasn't elected until 2022, but I was down at the ICE facility over the weekend. It was peaceful. Folks were playing soccer, playing chess. Folks can go to my Instagram page or my social media to check out the video that I took of the scene. I think the way that you are reporting things down there is greatly exaggerated. By and large, things are peaceful down there. by every account that I've heard.
Okay, you guys show up, Travis, you and Senator Wyden show up at the most peculiar times when you guys know things aren't really active. You guys like to show up during the day when everybody's just kind of chilling and it's not a lot going on. Why don't you show up at night when like there's things being thrown at ICE officers and people are stepping over the line and charging the building? Why don't you guys go down there and show that? Because we can show some video. Pull it up, Eurosan. Show up some videos. Show some videos of what, hold on. I don't know what happened. Oh, we had to come back in. So Travis, hold on, bear with us. Check this out. Why don't you come during this time? It's on the screen right now. I don't know if you can see it.
And there goes
you got people that are actively trying to charge the building. You got people throwing stuff. If Trump came 5 months ago, people were throwing explosives. They're throwing fireworks at ICE. Does this not concern you? Let me just ask you this. Did you agree with what went on in 2020 with how the riots got out of hand, the BLM riots in Portland? Did you think it got out of hand?
Well, first of all, David, it was not entirely riots. People were peacefully protesting for the most part.
You're saying in 2020?
In 2020, I was down there a lot.
You're saying that the riots were peaceful in 2020. That's what you're saying to me right now.
What I am telling you is the protests started off peacefully.
Okay.
And yes, did things escalate at points later on in the protests? Absolutely. But what we are seeing down at the ICE facility currently does not come close to matching what happened in 2020 at all. It is literally about a quarter of a block that is being that's being the location for where the protests are happening. So I just think you're exaggerating. That clip you showed, that was one of the worst moments. I don't think that's emblematic at all.
There's tons of clips out there like that, Travis.
Day in and day out down there. And as you know, I have been encouraging peaceful protests and have been encouraging people to de-escalate.
So you say I'm exaggerating. I actually put out a reel yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, but I basically said, Trump said that Portland was burning to the ground. And I said, okay, let's be fair. The whole city's not burning. Yes, listen, on 9/11, when I'm not trying to use 9/11 as an example, but it's just like when the Twin Towers were hit, it's like being in Venice Beach on California and saying, "Oh, we're not under attack in America. Look how peaceful it is." Like, it's so, the way that these influencers and you guys are framing it in Portland is that just because it's 3 or 4 blocks, it's not a big deal. Just because it's 3 or 4 blocks, the attacks on, like, you guys are minimizing. Do you guys not care about federal officers or the ICE officers that are getting attacked? And also, I did say, yes, it's 3 to 4 blocks, but it doesn't mean it's not a problem, because we've seen what happened. We've seen what happened in 2020, Travis. Your party has not taken responsibility for what you guys did to the city by allowing the riots to get out of hand and demonizing police, just like you're doing today. Your party is doing today. I've sat in the city council meetings in Portland where you guys have where Angelina Murillo and all the city councilors were more concerned about the cops' response to the chaos than the actual criminal acts themselves. I've seen them say, well, we need to have police accountability. That's another word for we don't like police and we want to reform it, and we want to vilify and demonize police any chance we want. The problem with what's going down at the ICE building right now is that it could be the match that likes the spark to another 2020 here in Portland, which destroyed the city's reputation. Travis, you should care about this. You're a representative, brother. It destroyed Portland's reputation. It destroyed our business environment. You go downtown Portland, so many businesses are boarded up. So why would you say that we are exaggerating and that we maybe don't care for the city? And Ron Wyden showing all these videos of the beautiful parts of Portland. Why are you guys doing that? Why can't you guys just be honest and let the police do their job?
Look, David, I am going to have to disagree with you. There was a lot in that comment. Have we had our challenges in Portland? Absolutely. But here's what I know. Oregon is a fantastic state. Portland is a great city, and we are on the rebound. Portland is a fantastic place to be, and I'm proud to be a representative of this city.
So do you guys not think it's a problem when federal officers are getting attacked?
Look, anytime an officer is attacked, that is something that should be investigated and is a problem. That said, that is not what is happening day in and day out, by and large, down at the ICE facility. That's being exaggerated.
Okay,
I understand what you are saying, but I have a fundamental disagreement with you on that point.
Well, just look at the videos, Travis. It doesn't take, if you guys can't even admit that there's a problem going on with how people are protesting, if you guys can't even admit that that these people are not just peacefully protesting, that they're also throwing projectiles, throwing stuff, pouring paint on the driveway, refusing to get out of the way when they're told to get out of the way when their car's coming and going from the federal building, from the federal ICE building in Portland. I just don't understand why you guys won't let Portland police do their job and let them arrest people, let them help the federal officers that are getting attacked. You guys act like these federal officers are just going out there just attacking people randomly. That's not what's happening. They're defending their building.
Did you see my video from me going down over the weekend?
Yeah, at noon on a Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, well, I talked to Portland police. They were doing a great job of keeping the peace. I am somebody that supports police. I also support police accountability, but I don't think that those two things contradict each other. Look, like I said, I have a fundamental disagreement with you. I think people should be able to express their First Amendment rights. I thought you believed in the Constitution as well.
Yeah.
People should be able to peacefully protest.
Yes,
and I've said that. I literally said that to the people. Not be breaking the law, and people that are being violent down there should be held accountable. Let me say that again. If protesters are being violent or are breaking the law, they should be accountable. But I fully support peaceful protests.
I support them too. And I told them that they had every right to protest. But when you're blocking the way of the federal building, you're throwing things at it, you're attacking ICE, you're spitting at ICE officers, like we saw in a video that was released today. You're seeing all of these things because it's that mob rule that's been in control of Portland for too long, Travis. And this is my issue, is that these group of radicals, these Antifa radicals, have the entire city under hostage because they're the ones that dox you if you speak out. They're the ones that are violent. Why? I just don't understand why your party is tying the hands of Portland police to take care of these people, and you're just letting them run free without any repercussions. You guys, in fact, instead are going after conservative journalists like Nick Sorter. I don't understand why you guys allow these radicals to get out of hand like you did in 2020. I don't get it, man.
So look, David, I am not a city council person, but from everything I am hearing, the city is focused on keeping that area safe. I don't hear that Portland police officers' hands are being tied. That is not what I am hearing. I have a fundamental disagreement with you on that. As you have reported, it's 2 or 3 blocks. I don't understand how you're coming up with that 2 or 3 block number, because when I walked within 2 or 3 blocks, there was absolutely nothing happening down on the South Waterfront other than that quarter of a block right in front of the ICE facility.
Well, maybe we can go down together one of these nights, Travis, so you can actually see it getting out of hand, because again, you guys cherry pick the times that you go down there when you know it's calm, and you take videos and you do it like right here on the screen. You have someone spitting at an ICE officer. I mean, this is the kind of mob mentality that is down there, that same mob mentality that destroyed Portland in 2020, destroyed the representation of the city. And these guys are just allowed to kind of do their thing. This is why these guys are doing this. Look at this. I mean, he spit on the officer. You know, he's on the ICE officer. But see, here's the problem, Travis, is that your party completely vilifies, demonizes, and puts down our ICE officers and our federal officers any chance you get, just because they're doing their job of deporting illegal immigrants. And good, look, I have a heart for families that are, if it's, people that haven't committed crimes that they're deporting. But at the end of the day, you guys talk about rule of law and democracy. How could you be okay with people that are illegal, and especially illegal criminals that are here?
Look, David, nobody should be spitting on law enforcement. That said, excessive force is not acceptable either. And what we're seeing from ICE is unprecedented. ICE is now the best funded law enforcement agency in the country, thanks to the big, beautiful bill. To me, that just makes absolutely no sense. And we're also seeing ICE arrest civilians, citizens of the United States, just because they are Hispanic. And that to me is...
That's not what's happening. And you know that.
That's happened. Google
give me one example of that happening.
There have been plenty of stories that are easily Googleable where ICE has arrested and taken American citizens into custody.
Are you talking about the Maryland man?
Not acceptable. No, there are multiple cases from all over the country that have been brought to my attention in recent weeks.
Well, I would like for you to send me that, but at the end of the day,
I will happily send you the links.
At the end of the day,
easily Googleable stories.
At the end of the day, the enemy here, the problem here is not ICE. It's not the federal officers that just came into Portland and started banging people up. Their building was getting attacked. They were getting attacked because people down there that are protesting, peacefully protesting, as you say, don't like what they're doing, which is deporting people. And that's fine. You can disagree with that all you want. But to say that there's no problem with these people that are attacking their building and attacking the ICE officers. I've been down there. I have physically seen with my own eyes that building and those officers getting attacked. And Portland police refuses to do anything because their hands are tied by the mayor of Portland and by Governor Kotek, and they let these radicals run free. And that's the problem. Is if we can just get back to just letting people actually peaceful protest, I think I'll be okay with that. You protest all you want. You protest my house if you want. I don't care. Just be peaceful, but don't be attacking me. So I think, Travis, I think the people that need to start being honest is your party. The governor, Ron Wyden, Keith Wilson. When they start being honest with what's going on in Portland with these radicals, these far left radicals that are making your party look bad, I think then we'll start seeing some progress. The problem is it's not President Trump.
The problem is in large part President Trump. And it's also the agitators that are going there trying to start problems. Just last night, a federal judge issued a ruling stating that President Trump cannot send a National Guard from any state, including the District of Columbia, to Oregon. And look, I know that a lot of the agitators down there want the protesters to be violent, want the protesters to be angry, so that federal judges like the one that issued the ruling last night will side with them and allow Trump to put troops on the ground here. And I just got to say that I think that is disgusting. I think the agitators need to stay away. If you're going down there to peacefully protest, I completely understand that. But again, I think you and I fundamentally disagree. I am not looking at this through the same lens that you are. And
yeah, because you're saying that you just told me that, did you see my video yesterday? Everything was all good, but you're never going to show me a video of all the violence that's happening down there. You wouldn't show me the guy spitting at the ICE officer today. You wouldn't show me any of that. But at the end of the day, I agree with you on the agitator part. There are agitators that are bad faith agitators that go down there. And trust me, I don't condone that at all. I think that that's counterproductive to solving the problem. But I think the problem needs to be identified. And the problem is not President Trump. It's not any of that. He wouldn't have to send in the troops if the Democrat leadership in the state, your party, would let the Portland police do their job. And they don't. They tie their hands because they're petrified of these far left Antifa radicals that have your party in this state by the, you know what? I'll let you have the last word and then I'll let you go.
Look, David, do you really think that we need hundreds of federal troops or National Guardsmen down there? Do you really think that's necessary? When I was down there, there were maybe 70 protesters. And like I said, they were peaceful. That's not to say that there's not the occasional protester that gets agitated or that there are occasional skirmishes. Completely understand that may happen. But that said, by and large, from what I am seeing and from what I am hearing for the most part, things are remaining peaceful. And I have encouraged people to stay nonviolent.
Yeah. Well, you guys freaked out.
The governor, and so has Mayor Wilson.
Back in 2020, when I was president at the Capitol in Salem, which there was a lot of lies about me there, about how I was pushing my way in. I never laid a hand on officers. I was trying to keep the peace as a community leader. But look at what you guys did to that story when people were protesting and got a little bit out of hand. And a lot of things happened I didn't agree with. Okay. And people were held accountable for that. I'm talking about the protests in 2020 at the Salem Capitol. Look at how crazy the Democrats and the media went on that. And that is not even close to what's been happening at the ICE building. I just wish that both sides could be treated fair, but that's not, because Democrats like to play politics and it's whatever, man. But dude, I appreciate you coming on and I appreciate you sharing your view. I hope you make it down there, go down there at night, go down there when there's a protest scheduled, go down there and actually see the chaos happening. I think you'd be disgusted.
Thanks, David. We should go down there together one night.
I'm down, man. I'm down, and we're gonna video it, and you're gonna see it. I'm gonna be like, Travis, what's this?
I don't think we're gonna find what you are describing.
Okay, fair enough, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on, and I really do wish you well, and appreciate you always having the courage to talk to me. you don't have to, and you do. So that shows a lot about you. I appreciate you. I hope we can keep this dialogue open because I think it's important for Oregon, man. So Travis Nelson, everybody, Representative Travis Nelson out of Portland. Thank you for your time, man.
Thanks for having me.